Hey, what's up, everybody? Studebaker. This is play a little bit of Battlefield 4, and I guess I'll talk about pretty much my journey in the army. It'll be probably a couple of videos. It's a long story, I guess you would say. So I first started out wanting to join the Marine Corps. I don't know, they're hardcore. They're cool. Their uniforms are cool, but I didn't know much about any other branch. So I looked into the Navy. Navy's cool, they got the big boats and stuff, but when you talk to the recruiters, they're not really motivated to help you. So one day I talked to an Army recruiter, motivated to help me, so I'm like, all right, I'll actually pursue this. So then, after talking to the recruiter a couple days and just kind of chit-chatting, I finally took an ASVAB, which is like a test to see kind of like what jobs you'll qualify for. So I took the ASVAB, did okay. I mean, I'm not, gonna be a brain surgeon or anything like that. So one of the jobs that came up for me was a 13 Bravo Caney crew member. So did some research on it, seemed pretty cool. So signed up for it. After that, I went down to MEPS, and MEPS is like everyone will tell you, recruiter will tell you, hurry up and wait, and that's all it was. I just got there, you sit around all day trying to do tedious things like a urine test or checking my blood or vision, and it's just things that take all day long. And this is your first real taste, or my first real taste of the military. You're not in uniform or anything, but there's people in uniform. There was a first sergeant out there yelling around, dictating. So it was my first real taste, and I thought it was pretty cool. So after I got all that stuff out of the way, I started doing the Future Soldier program at my local recruiter station, and they pretty much just teach you PT, proper etiquette, and all that stuff towards the military. And it actually worked out for the long run because if you do it and you pass a PT test, you're eligible to get a rank. So there you go. I already got my first rank before I even joined the military. With an E2, private second class. But then I also did growing up in Boy Scouts, and it was an Eagle Scout. And that's automatically a rank too. So now I'm a PFC before I even joined the military. Not too bad. So more about the Future Soldier program. We worked out a lot, pretty much learning PRT. So once you get the basic training, you kind of understand a bit better of what's going on, what's expected. But even though no matter how much you figure out or how much you research, it's when you get there, it just throw everything out. Everything you've ever heard, just throw it out the window. I mean, even what I'm telling you now will be 100% different from anybody else's experience. This is just my experience. So anyway, moving along. After you finish MEPS, I got a ship date to ship out to go to basic training. And it was relatively quick. It was like 3 weeks, which is really fast. So, I got all my stuff ready, which is not much. And to get a backpack, a couple socks, a couple things of underwear, call it good. And say bye to my family till, they were going to come to my graduation. But it's still, this is, leaving the military. It's kind of got a little emotional. But, once you get down there, you pretty much have to do MEPS all over again. They want, make sure you're not you're not on drugs or anything. So I had to redo drug tests and all that good stuff. So, the next day is when I shipped out. So I shipped out to Oklahoma, Fort Sill for my basic training. I left sunny California to go to Oklahoma in the wintertime. It was probably 15 degrees. It was freezing. You get there, you don't go to basic training right off the bat. It's not get off the bus, go to basic training. It's get off the bus, go to reception for maybe a week to 2 weeks. And I was only there for a week. That doesn't count as basic training time. Everyone thinks, once you get off that bus, your clock starts. No, my clock didn't start till a week after. Once I got done reception, then you go to basic training. But reception is just the world in its own. It's very long days of doing nothing. I mean, I waited around all day to get my ears checked to make sure I can hear okay. I mean, that literally took a full day of work just waiting in line. This is where you'll get your first bald haircut, and it's bad. And it's it's not all. You get there and you'll be really disappointed. You'll think, wow, this is the army. What the heck? This is stupid stuff. But it's the stuff you got to get done. All your last minute paperwork, and it's also your first time to meet your drill sergeants. You are not left alone from the time that bus pulls up and you get off that bus. You are with a drill sergeant until you graduate basic training. This is micromanagement now. So I mean, once that bus pulls up, they start screaming at you, yelling at you to get off the bus, move with a purpose. Everyone, all the drill sergeants have their own little words they use. Some of them will do, retard or guy or I don't know. So once you get there, I got there at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Got off the bus. They give you a little bit of food. They'll give you 3 meals a day. But anyway, I got my food, did some paperwork, got to the barracks at around 3 o'clock. So it was about 3 o'clock when I went to bed. Wake up at 5, so I got about 2 hours of sleep. You wake up and then you start in processing at reception. A bunch of paperwork saying where you are, getting addresses, making sure all your paperwork is squared away before you go to basic training. When you're there, this is also when you'll get your uniforms. And one thing I noticed is a lot of people, I think, join the military just to wear the uniform, but it's kind of a disgrace. People will be wearing it, having their cell phones. Everyone's taking pictures of them in the uniform, thinking you're so cool, but really, when you look back, you're like, wow, it's just crazy what people will do with them. And then people will be there. They call them, you're there based on your week or what day you are. Everyone's like, as you walk around, what day are you? Day 3, day 4. Then there's week 2. People have been there for 2 weeks. They're like, oh yeah, we're week 2s, and they get special privileges, and it's just crazy. But that's pretty much reception in a nutshell right there. I mean, other than that, you just sit around and wait, do nothing all day. Alright, well, that pretty much sums up how I got in the Army and a little bit about reception. So my next video will be more about BCT itself and the different phases. So any questions about MEPS or reception, just kind of write them down in the comments. Remember, thumbs up and subscribe. I'll have more videos out later. See ya.